if your son marries her, she will stop the prostitution. So are you okay with that?
You can force a horse to the riverside, but you can't force it to drink. Talk to this kid, no matter how you bring this kid up, she'll always end up at the wrong side.
So all what you are saying is that if your son brings in a prostitute, all what you are going to say is, okay, it's his life, so you don't care.
I'll tell you, I wouldn't agree on what he's doing. But if he still insists,
and I'm saying why wouldn't you agree? What is the problem with a prostitute?
Because if I know she's still doing it, that's the problem.
Why? What is the problem?
If she's still doing it,
if she's still doing it, so what?
That's my issue.
What is your issue with it?
Because I wouldn't like a prostitute.
Why? What is wrong with this? If a woman is a prostitute, she wants to change to marry. She has promised your son that if your son will want to marry her, she will stop the prostitution.
If your son wants to marry her before she will stop it.
I said, if your son, the woman has promised your son that if your son marries her, she will stop the prostitution. So are you okay with that?
That's not a yes thing.
Why do you still have a problem with that? If the woman has said that, oh, if you marry me, I'll stop.
No.
Why no?
Because you have to do it for the person to know.
Why? What is it for? Because you haven't married me. Why do you want me to do anything for you to know?
That's why I said the choice is with my son.
No, you say you have a problem. Why now?
I have a problem, but I'm not the one getting married to her.
So then, if you're not the one, why do you in the first place have a problem with it?
Because I don't agree with it. But if
why don't you agree? That's my question.
It's his choice.
No, I know it's his choice.
If he wants to do it,
we
know
it's his choice.
Because I don't like it.
You don't like it?
Yes. If I don't like something, doesn't mean the other person should also doesn't like it.
No, that's not what we are saying. What we are saying is that you as a mother,
yes, and I said, I as a mother, I don't like it.
I said, why?
But if he doesn't see
I'm saying
anything,
why?
Because I don't like it.
Why? Look, if you can't just say I don't like it for no reason.
So if you don't like fufu, doesn't mean you have to.
There must be a reason why you don't like it.
No, because I don't like it.
So you don't have any reason?
No, I don't just eat fufu.
No, I'm not about.
I'm just saying something.
Your son.
Yes.
Your son bringing in a person.
I don't like it, and if he still
you don't like it, but you don't have any problem.
If he insists, what can you can force a horse to the riverside, but you can't force it to drink.
You are changing the
narrative. That's not changing
I'm
it.
saying
so
that
if he still doesn't see anything wrong with it, and that's his choice, that's what he wants to do with his life. That's good.
So you are saying you don't like it, but actually there's no point for you to buttress that point. You're saying.
No.
Alright. So let's move on. So the fact of the matter is that you are a woman, and you are aware the dangers ahead when a man marries a woman who is a prostitute, whether in the future, past or present. You are aware. That is why you just said that, because I gave you a scenario and I told you that the woman is saying that if your son marries her,
let me set an example. Let me ask you a question. If your daughter brings home a womanizer, and the womanizer tells your daughter that, oh, me worry wa me jai master, you as a father, would you agree?
Would I agree to that? Okay, actually, for a man to marry my daughter, it is a win for my daughter. That is why.
So you don't care whether the man is a womanizer or a drunkard?
Wait, that's why I'm saying that there's always a win when it comes to relationship. So as a man, you should know your win, and as a woman, you should know your win. That's why a woman focuses on getting a man who is successful. A man who...
You haven't answered my question.
Wait, I'm asking you a question. A man who is a millionaire have no problem marrying a lady who serves at a bar. But when you reverse it, it's a big deal. So it is always a win for a woman to get married from a successful man. So if a man, you are saying a womanizer, the whole idea of family or marriage is about taking care of the family. It's about, bringing up a family together. So the man must be somebody who can pool resources. The man must be somebody who have access to resources. Because to sustain the family, you need resources, a lot of resources. And that should come from the man. The majority of it, like 90 to 95%, should come from the man. So if my daughter brings in a man who is successful and wants to marry my daughter.
No, I didn't say he's successful. I said the man is a chronic womanizer.
And I'm saying that the key here for a woman to marriage has nothing to do with womanizer. It is about successfulness.
You've already concluded that you don't mind if your daughter brings in a chronic womanizer or a chronic drunkard. As far as he's successful, you don't have any problem.
Now you mentioned chronic drunkard, right? Mention 2 chronic drunkards who are successful.
I know of one.
Let's mention one.
Oh, his name is Kujo.
His name is Kujo?
Yes.
Okay, it means he's just successful.
He is.
Why can't you mention his name?
So
if he's successful, you will know.
So are you trying to tell me, say, all the richest men
you know them.
in Ghana,
of course,
that you know them?
Every rich man in Ghana, when you go, you will know. Every rich man you know, the moment you know the person's name, go, you will know. Because if the person is rich, you can't just be rich unless the person is a criminal. If you are rich, you have a business, you have something that your richness is attached to. You can't just wake up and say, I'm rich. Your richness is attached to something, a business or something, and that something can be found on Google.
No, I'm saying, without you googling them, do you know them?
You said, do I know them? I didn't say I know them, I said I will know.
You will know.
Yes, if you mention the name, of course, I will know, I'll find out. You have internet here. So you mention the name, I'll find out for you. And find out if that person is a chronic drunkard. Because we get a chronic drunkard, somebody who has been drinking alcohol all day, all night. That person, he doesn't even have head to be successful in life. I'm telling you. You can't be.
But you know, say someone can be chronic to drugs. Will be doing meth and other stuff, but still be rich.
Then you mention one. You have to mention one. You can't just say it. Because if it's about saying it, then you can say anything without evidence. But you have to provide evidence. Okay, I know this very man. He's very successful and he's doing this. Let's move on. Okay, at the end of the day.
Example.
At the end of the day.
Wait. Is a chronic
no, wait.
And very addicted to drugs.
Who?
Lowen.
Wait.
American Lowen.
Come on, you don't know him. You
don't know
him.
So you didn't watch the documentary he released on the cancer that he had.
Okay.
You haven't watched that.
Okay. And then.
But he's still successful.
All right. Successful in music, right?
Yeah, like he's making it.
He's
he
rich.
He's
and
rich.
He can marry any day he wants to marry. Yes. So obviously, if it is my daughter, I'll have no problem. Of course. So what I'm trying to say is that men and women see things differently.
My pet, despite, won't allow his daughter to marry someone who is a chronic womanizer or a chronic drunkard.
Okay,
you wouldn't.
That is what you will say. But now we are talking about relationship. We are not talking about social vices.
It's not social vices. That's the truth.
Drugs is not something has to do with relationship. Drugs is not part of relationship. Drugs is purely, social vices.
Now, and your partner is doing it.
No, it's a different issue from relationship. You're talking about relationship. Yeah, you are bringing drugs and alcohol and blah blah blah. Relationship.
So, even your partner.
Relationship and dating. It has nothing to do with drugs.
Your partner is doing it. It's not part of the relationship.
Tell me what positive about drugs that you are bringing it in.
It makes the person happy.
Drugs make somebody happy.
Yes.
It makes who happy?
It makes the intake happy.
No, I'm not talking about the intaker because you are not the intaker. I'm talking about what is positive about drugs.
We talked about if your daughter bring home a choice. That's what we are talking about.
So the choice, we limited the choice to relationship choices.
Relationship choices and the person that the person is bringing.
The past. We are talking about a relationship. We are not talking about drugs. We are talking about relationship past. A past of a relationship is about relationship.
A past of which relationship?
You're talking about a woman having so many men, or a woman who is known.
You said if my son brings home a woman, a prostitute.
A prostitute is still a relationship. It's still about sex.
And if my daughter bring home a drunkard.
A drunkard is not relationship. A drunkard is social vice.
How is it a social vice?
Why don't you bring humanizer? Why are you bringing drugs? You didn't say drugs. Why are you bringing drugs? How does drug got to do with relationship?
How does drug got to do with the relationship? If I'm your partner and I'm doing drugs, it's part of the relationship.
So, no, drugs is not relationship.
No. If you are
how is drugs part of relationship? Relationship is about intimacy and the past of the intimacy. That's what we're referring to. A woman and a man living.
So if
they have past.
No, if you have a past. So if you are the man and you are still doing it. If you are still doing the drug.
In the relationship standpoint, when you say somebody has a past, what do we mean?
If someone has a past, that is old.
What does it mean? If you say,
that's his old life.
No, old life about what?
How he used to live.
That is not that. When you say a past relationship, we talk about your relationship past history.
Your relationship past history,
yes,
or the person's past.
Yes, that's what about relationship. That is what the past means. It is not about I used to work at here and I was this, I was doing this, I schooled here. That is not your past. Your past is about your relationship and your sex life in the past. Of course.
Okay, so if that's your past, what about if I'm a drunkard?
Who is a drunkard?
I'm just saying if I'm a drunkard.
It's a different thing.
It's not.
It is not part.
It's part of me.
No. It is like you are saying that. Look.
No. I won't buy that one.
If
you are having a habit, that habit is part of you.
Yes.
You can't run away and say, it's different. Different from who? So who is that habit for?
No. We are talking about this. If we want to include everything, then our conversation will take 30 years to finish.
No, we are not including everything.
I'm saying
you made mention of a choice, and I'm also giving you a choice.
The past of that choice is still about relationship.
So you have to tell me.
Sex, intimacy is still about in the same circle of relationship. Prostitution has intimacy.
It's a lifestyle.
It is still linked to. It is a lifestyle. It is still linked to relationship.
So as far as it's a lifestyle, it is.
What is a prostitution?
What's what?
Prostitution. Prostitution is a woman having sex with a man for money.
It's a lifestyle.
No, is it prostitution?
It's a choice.
No. Prostitution is a woman having sex with a man for money. That's prostitution.
Multiple men for money.
It has nothing to do with multiple men. If you are having sex, even if it's one man, and you are having sex with a man for money, it's like a man it's like if you are selling food and you are selling the food to one person, it is not selling food, it is still selling food.
Okay.
So prostitution is the same way. If you are there and the man comes there and pays for the sex, it is still prostitution. So that's the whole idea. It is still linked to relationship because of intimacy around it.
So what's not linked to a relationship?
Like you bringing in somebody who is a criminal, who bring that thing.
It's not linked to relationship.
It is not about relationship.
It is because if the first thing I
mention one thing in this word that is not linked to relationship.
Everything is linked to relationship.
Exactly.
So you can't exclude.
So can we have a conversation if you take everything?
We can.
How can we? Because we said this is about relationship.
If you are going to date someone, you look at all those things.
All right. And it is very true. Exactly what I was saying.
You look at those things.
No, that thing you're talking about, you're very right. You are saying that you will look at those things, right?
Yes.
Okay. Those things, are they present or past?
If they are past, I don't mind. But if they are the present.
Are they present or past?
And I'm saying if.
Of course they are past.
No. Not everything is past.
Oh, of course. Everything you know about
Not everything is past.
You know about something about me, that is not past.
Okay, for you, I don't know something about you that's present.
Of course.
So I would say that I don't know
because
anything about you.
Life moves.
So if someone asks me, how well do you know? But tell the person I don't really.
Let me make one thing clear.
Because I don't.
Okay, let me make one clear. when you say something is somebody's past, actually it means everything about the person.
Everything about
you know
no.
about the person.
It's not everything you know about the person.
No, everything you know about the person is the person's past.
Not everything you know about the person. It can be a portion of it that you know.
No. It's everything. You can't know anything present of anybody.
That's why I said if the thing that you know about the person is a present continuous thing.
That's what I'm saying. Sir. Everything you know about anybody is the past. But there are two types of past. There are the past that the person has stopped. Okay, and then the past that is still in continuous.
That is the present continuous.
Don't worry. So I'm just making things clear. So what I'm trying to say is that anything that you know about somebody is the past. When it comes to judging anybody, everything you know about the person is the past. So I understand with you that you are not just going to look at the sexual past. Maybe you look about everything. Boy, it is true. It is both for the man and the woman. But the things the men will be looking at and the things the women will be looking at are not the same. That's one thing I wanted to establish. And then there was a point that you were making. I think you made mention, say, if my daughter should come home with somebody who is known, for drugs, would I agree or not? Actually, the underlying thing is drugs. The drugs is not about the relationship. It is more social vice. So that's a problem because without drugs, whether the man has stopped or not, once you take drugs, it has other things complications that comes with it. So my advice to my daughter would be no.
Okay, so what if she still insists and ignores you?
No, that is purely about fatherhood. That if you have a daughter, you don't wait for your daughter to grow up and then at that pinnacle you were trying to advise her, trying to control her. No. If you are a father to a girl, it must be very constant. You must prove to the girl that you have her at heart and you want the best for her right from childhood. So for the child to grow and be dependent on you in terms of quality advice, that is a responsibility of a man. You can't just leave her alone for her to be roaming about.
So what if
let me
giving
conclude.
her all the advice,
let me
talk
conclude.
to her about everything, but she still insists of being with this?
No, I want to conclude. So if your daughter will grow up to a level that she would take a decision, come for your advice, you advise her and she will not take your advice. Do you know what it means as a father? It means the fatherhood, in quote, you have failed as a man, as a father.
Okay.
That's the whole thing. If you give your advice to your daughter and the daughter will not take, you have failed as a father. Okay. So, and we have a responsibility as people. And you have to be successful. Not just successful in business, successful in other circles in our life. You get it? So the thing is, you have to be successful in business. The same way you have to be successful as a father, as a man. So my advice is on this issue is every man should strive to be a successful father. The same way you want to be successful entrepreneur or successful in business.
But there are some cases, as I always say, cases are blessing. But sometimes it's not really about you being a good mother or a good father. Sometimes you are lucky to have a good kids, and some kids are just troublesome. No matter how you talk to this kid, no matter how you bring this kid up, she'll always end up at the wrong side. Yeah. So what about that one too? Yeah, I understand. It's like setting up a business. Like most people go into entrepreneurship, but only few people get out as successful. The same way is with the successfulness in family. If you want to be a father or a mother, your success is attached to everything you do every day in the family. It's everything. Your cultural practices in the family will determine your success. So you can't just be a father or a mother and expect that, boom, you'll be successful. Just maybe you took one decision. No, it's a continuous. Everything you are doing every day will determine whether you're going to be successful or not. So the same way businesses fail, the same way families will fail if you don't put in the requisite effort in it.
You get it?
That's why I said some kids be
I am saying what I'm saying is that it is the parents' responsibility to put their children upright. It is the parents' responsibility to put their children upright. They are your kids. You have to form them to the best of your knowledge, to the standards of a society. So if the children grow up and at the point you can't control them and they go wayward, they do things that it is like non-standard of a society. It is the fault of the parents. You cannot say.
I'm saying, what if you bring these kids up in the moral way that you know best, but later in life they departed?
That is what I'm saying. You when you put it this way, you are making it look like there are external forces somewhere. No,
not external.
They are not external forces. They are doing whatever they are doing in the future because of what has happened in the past. If you are a good parent, they will listen to you even in their hundreds. Even they get to 200, they will still listen to you as parents.
It depends on the child.
It does not depend on any child. Every human being, we are all the same. We are human beings. Our parents are our first gods on earth. So when you come to this world, if you have good parents who understand life and know how to nurture children, they will nurture you in the way that whenever they give an advice, you will take it if they know what they are doing. Because life, for example, do you think if you are a parent and you are living with your children and you have been given advice right from infancy, but they grow up and realize that most, like a higher percentage of all your advices led to a failure? What do you think will happen when they get to a time when they are financially sound? Do you think they will still come to you to advise?
No.
Exactly. So it's the same way. Don't twist it. This is something that is killing a lot of us, that most of the times we link such situation to spirituality.
I'm not talking about spirituality.
No.
Here.
I'm not talking about you.
Sometimes
I'm not talking about you.
You will do everything possible.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about
for your kid. Like you advise, you will give him the best brought up, best morals and everything that you know of. And this kid will still turn out wayward.
That's why I'm saying that. I just gave a scenario.
That's not the fault of the parents.
I just gave a scenario that, listen to me. I just gave a scenario that you have a responsibility, and that responsibility is not tied to automatic success. Get it? You have a responsibility as a parent, and your responsibility is not tied to automatic success. It's not like, oh, once I'm a parent and I'm a responsible, I'm paying school fees, I'm doing this. Obviously,
I'm giving my child moral advice.
Yes,
and everything.
It doesn't mean obvious.
Will turn up to be responsible.
It doesn't mean you get success of whatever you want. What I'm trying to say is that it's an art that you must learn as a parent. Some people learned it. There are families that have certain structure. They have built that structure and they are still holding on to it till now. Once you are in that family, you are automatically successful. It is not fluke. It is not like magic. They have cultural practices that they follow. So what I'm trying to say is that as a parent, don't just sit down and say like, okay, my moral practice, I'm taking my children to church. I'm taking the children to school. No. You have to go beyond that. You have to learn more, understand life. You should even understand that, okay, how much time my children spend with me and how much time my children spend with the rest of the world. You must know all these things. How much time your children spend on a phone than in the real life. You must know everything about your children so that you know that, okay, if I want my children to go the way I want them to go, it means the things they pay attention to in life, a chunk of it, like 70% of it, should be the things I design. So you have to design your life, a life for your children. For example, if they will go to school, you have to decide the school that will fit your children. If they go to school, whatever they are doing after school, you have to design something that will fit them. That you design it. You have designed something that your children, when they're doing it, you know what they're doing. You have an oversight of everything that they're doing. If they have some homework at home, whatever they're doing, you have it under control, because it is by your, maybe like
it's your idea that they are doing that, so you have control over it. So those things continuously will position your children how you want them to position in this world. But if you leave your children like they go to school, you have no idea what goes on at school. Most of the parents, they take things for granted. A lot of things. Sometimes if you am busy, I'm pista. I guess it. We for be a busy pista. They feel like when they get money, with my boy money, a man that chase me. But mother chase me. And then Sikano can pay for certain things, but the most important aspect of their life, it has nothing to do with money. It is more to do with control, having a vision, having a plan for them, and putting them on that path for them to go, rather than say leaving them for the society to mold them. Society mold them then you feel like maybe you want to tell them, oh, you say no, it will not work. Right from the start, the responsibility must start from there. Okay, so that's what I feel about that aspect. Say, parents, I cannot guarantee, say, you can do X, Y, Z to be successful as a parent, but what it takes to be successful as a parent, and now for say the man for who was the baby, the baby, right from the some guards that did a whole mama for the alcohol. School cannot require not the cost of school come with him. Or school, you're bullying school. My parents call you are not even aware because you don't even have anybody who is policing your child, who is reporting to you. I can't be sharing a good deal myself or calling them for my non for born on Jamani Tembiano or calling them for my say the Tembiano I shy. All this report must come to you. But then why I found nothing. So there are parents who go extra mile. School be about piano. There's a teacher be our than the police or one. Every little bit piano, you have to report to the parent. You don't have to ask the child. Don't ask. Just report back to the parent. So it takes a lot. So the parents report to be a winner piano. Now should be formulated normal baby boy akwano. Okay, akwano has to see because continuously akwano school near bullying there continuously. No, or better than talk or better than something because the baby stage you also pay revenge. To a group because be me embo or be a babu be catcher or join a woman. And do you know what happens when you join a group? There's also always a cultural practice. You took a joining group, be a group and domo say really no more, say you want to be part of them so that for protection. Parents, like they have a lot to do. Most are not doing it. And a lot of things have changed. The way parents have so much control over the life of their children. As someone, and a lot of the responsibility in the society. So when your parents don't careful now fall into that trap now, the society will mold your children anyhow. A person a molding because the society a mold children now. It does not mold it with the intelligence of you, the parents. It molds on it molds the children of the intelligence of the society. Society say we for and a dominant woman. Obey never knew really be put me cash in found. But say woman will control the normal way and total control and not a lot of control. It was man as well. A bow my ultimate day controlling all these things. So then I think I have made myself clear on that one. So you made mention of despite you couldn't even continue the rest. There was even Kennedy Japan. Do you know his wife, Kennedy Japan? Oh yeah, you
A distributor and also one shop.
Okay. Oh yeah, mama wine. Exactly. Ibrahim Muhammad, you know the wife.
Yeah, the wife.
Oh yeah, mama wine. Okay. So all these things they have something in common. Obia you mama on one. What it means is that omo you didn't and the that's automatic and that's what it means. To obey bia or was bia enough to take care of the family bia no. The ways ever hope. And they say ebe ye adwuma amano bema no anaso be adwuma under bema no anase obeye sit home wife. And these things they work on the same path. It's like they are alike. Omo look the same and similar. Oba oye sit home wife bema wo ska high enough. Oba otifi onye adwuma bi oba oye adwuma under you anaso oye no adwuma no similar. Because at the end of the day it goes the same mindset na what be man wa achieve, because you don't want your wife to have two bosses. It doesn't help in relationship at all. Okay, so I think the same thing goes to this. So at the end of the day, you know, you were making a point about the things a woman will look at in a relationship, and that's before marriage. And you said, say, I was say, Obano, or go through a process of financially independent and other things to be, ready for marriage. Okay, so I wanted to refute that. That's why I like conversation taking that tracing, because I wanted to make it clear that the financially independent aspect of it is illusion. Because if the financially independent aspect of it is not illusion, why is it that women in a relationship ask their men for money, but not the other way around? The things women look at are totally different. So when women have the mindset that, no, I need to take my time, and maybe I need to take my time and be financially independent before I get into marriage, that's an illusion, and that is a big illusion. That is killing marriage. Because all this while, that as a woman you feel like, okay, I need to take my time to be this blah 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 before I get married. You are not taking your time to do those things. You are lying. Because if from 18 years to maybe 30 years, you are saying that you are preparing yourself, you are taking your time, you need to grow your business, blah 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 blah. But meanwhile, you are having relationships, and most of the time, the reason why all these relationships you are having from 18 to 30, you might have like 30 relationships, and it will not last. The relationship will not last, all because your focus at that period, was your personal goals. Something got to do with you. Oh, I'm schooling, I'm working, I'm doing internship, I'm doing this. So you pay attention to those things, and you pay less attention to relationship. So you are preparing yourself to marriage. Meanwhile, you are sleeping with 30 guys. So you have slept with 30 guys. Now you are 30 years. You are an HR. You are this for this company. You think, okay, now I have arrived. That's the biggest problem you are facing. Because at that period, you think you have arrived. What about the men that you are going to? Because marriage is not about you alone. It's about the man and the woman. Men know what you want. That is why a lot of men are busy killing themselves to get something, to get somewhere, to be successful, right? Because they know what women want, and they know what it takes to even raise a family, and they know their responsibility. And the funny thing is, men's responsibility in life has been very constant. Have you noticed that? It has been very constant all your life from your infancy. You knew that women collect money from men. You knew from infancy. As a woman, you knew. It has never changed. But then, if women collect money from men, how come you grow up as a woman and when it comes to marriage, you say, oh, I need to get my money right. Get your money right for what? You should ask yourself, what do also men want? You should ask yourself, what do men want? You should find out. Find out from your mother, like anywhere, your father, somewhere. What do men want from women? Because if a man is a millionaire, and you think that a millionaire will come and marry you because you're a successful woman, it's a cliche. It doesn't happen anywhere. It is not true. But how many women know this? They don't know. So, I think today we have spent a lot of time, and I think the next time we meet, you will talk about even the real value of a woman. Because most women are not even aware where their value is. Because if you are taking the age of 18 to 30 years, it's an experimental age. You are just moving around, just having fun. And then at 30 years, you think that, okay, now I have a job, I have money now, so I'm ready to marry. Are you going to take care of the man?
Some ladies do.
No, are you going to take care of the man? If you want to marry, are you going to marry a man you want to take care of?
No.
Exactly. And it's not just you. Majority of women. When I say majority, I'm not talking about 60%. I'm talking about 99% of women want a man that the man can bring value to them, that the man can take care of them, can help them. And the whole idea, you know where it stands from? Why women want men who can take care of them? Do you know where it comes from?
The Bible.
No, not the Bible. The whole idea is biology. Because you're going to get pregnant, you're going to be weak. You need resources to survive, to even you deliver. So if you have a man who have resources, a pool of resources, it means you're going to be okay, right? So it's biology. That is why men always the provider and women also have a role. But how come for one way or the other it has, the narrative has changed and now women want to get money before they enter a relationship. The whole idea is that most men are getting poorer. So it is not actually the problem of the woman going to get the money that will solve that. No. Because even when the women get money, do you know what is funny? What is funny is that even when they get money, they still want a man who has more money than them.